Welcome to an episode of The Best Automatic. I'm your host, Captain Know-It-All.
And I'm your host, Captain Gorgeous.
And I'm your host, Captain Pervert. What has to apologise about our previous episode, about me mentioning about my brother's Dora Explorer version of the it's Dora Explorer, the Golden Shower, but there's another one. It's something to do with poo, I got told, but it's a lost city of gold in it. Yeah, that's inappropriate. I mean, what I got to actually do is actually get on with the program and mention our first thing like we usually do. Like that old program did, Top Gear. And if you're not too sure what Top Gear is, here's a little bit of a taster.
Oh, listen to that noise. Oh, that's fantastic. And then there's the styling. Have you ever seen such an amazingly funky little car? There's so much power and grip. Grip's unbelievable. Okay, let me show you. Build it up to 4,000 RPM. Dump the clutch. No wheel spin at all. That's how much traction you've got. It catapults you back into this world of G-force and noise.
Imagine watching the entire French Air Force crash into a fireworks factory. That's how much of a laugh this car is. So how on earth have they turned a hot cappuccino into a pint of super strong espresso? Well, part of the secret is to be found under the bonnet. See, in a normal Clio, this is where you'd expect to find the engine. But in this, they've fitted a carry cot for your baby. The problem is, you can't put children on the back seats because there aren't any. All the space is taken up with the enormous 3-litre V6 engine. So, what about the boot? Well, I'm afraid that's only big enough for a kipper. If, therefore, you have some shopping, what I suggest you do is throw it away. This is such a bloke's car. You start with a practical, sensible family hatchback, then fill it full of engine. And who cares that you have to put the baby under the bonnet?
There are one or two other drawbacks as well, like for instance the lever to adjust the backrest of this seat is down here. You have to be a proctologist to reach it, which I'm not.
Oh, and it's the least manoeuvrable car on the road. Oil tanker captains have been heard to say that their ships have the turning circles of Clio V6s. Life in this is a never-ending stream of 3-point turns.
Then there's the equipment. You get an airbag, air conditioning and a cabin full of air. It's not much really for £27,000.
However, this is as mid-engine as a supercar. It sounds like a supercar. It goes like a supercar. So on that basis, it becomes the bargain of the century. It'll do 155 miles an hour and out-accelerate the Porsche C4S that we looked at earlier. I think it's fantastic, but there is one more test that needs to be done.
You see, Renault has been putting big engines in the back of little hatchbacks for years. They did it with the 5 and they did it with the first Clio. And both these cars had a reputation for being savage beyond the limit. They just used to spin. So, to find out whether this one is any better, I've got to go out there and drive round corners much too quickly. Time, therefore, to take one of my special Brave pills. Right.
We know it's got high levels of grip, but what happens when you exceed them?
Well, you get plenty of understeer to sort of remind you that you're getting close to the limit, but that's okay. I've had my brave pills. I shall push on. Oh dear. I think the problem is that it's French. It's a surrender monkey. Oh, here we go again. So you see, if you show it a difficult corner, it just sort of gives in, sits in a cloud of its own smoke with its hands up. Don't want to go around this corner fast. I want to go home and make love and make cheese. That's what I like doing most of all because I'm French.
So that is quite interesting about the Clio. But obviously we'll have to play more of that. Yeah, but first you want to apologise. Well, yeah, I will apologise. I do realise that the producers did tell me that it was getting around with them funny people, them Lego people, you know, them invaders what invaded his lot, you know, well, part of England. What do you mean, my lot? Them Yorkshire people what drink dirty mucky beer because can't be bothered cleaning their valves out and all that lot. Look, now you're getting more insulting. Now, I've seen that educational documentary about Yorkshire people. There's one on BBC, but obviously it's stopped now. But there's still ITVs what's still going. I mean, obviously, I always keep moaning that they don't win the most sexiest female award, do they? Look, you still got to apologise. Well, because what I said. Now, here's a bit more of that, that fattage.
That is just such a good-looking car. I drove the original one of these in Monte Carlo, and there were people stopping Ferraris, Lamborghinis, getting out to look at this. And it's a Renault Clio. That's incredible.
They were probably wondering why you were taking 66 bites at getting around the Lowe's hairpin.
Because of that turning circle.
It's because of the turning circle.
Kind of spoils the glamour.
There's one thing I want to make plain. This handling thing beyond the limit. Yes, you notice it on a track. It is tricky. But on a road, it's got so much grip, you'll never notice it. And I have to say, in my perfect 10-car garage, and I think all men have got one of those, yes? You've got one?
Yeah, do you want to know?
No, not now, but another day. In my perfect 10-car garage, I would definitely have one of these. No question.
What impresses me is the fact that you found that limit and you went beyond it with your brave pill. It survived. Now, the old one, they didn't survive after. I broke one.
I broke several.
Everybody I know that drove one broke one. This survived, and that is impressive, actually.
It's more than just survived, actually, because most of the cars that come to the track and you do that mad sliding, smoky tyre stuff, they normally have to go home in a Hoover bag.
Yeah.
People, you sweep them home rather than drive them.
Pretty
Not a single thing went wrong with this. Didn't even wear its tyres out, which is impressive. But before we give it the complete, clean bill of health, there is one more test to do. Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue dans le pleu. Le Stig. This should be interesting.
Not as interesting as ours, because obviously we've got our nuts on same racing driver to watch. Yeah, ours. Yeah, and obviously you can tell they look like they're driving a Aston Martin. Yeah, you know, like Bond, because obviously we know. So, our gimp is going around our bends while we haven't really given them really nice names like Camel Humpback Road or, you know, coming up to maybe the damned nation alleyway. It's just damn fun. Who gives a damn now?
Very funny. You just be the idiot. A snake pass bender, all that lot of devil's elbow. Yeah, but we are trying to make this something really exciting, aren't we? As we see our not-so-tame racing driver not handle the car very well because it's on dirt, but now it's on familiar ground. Tarmac.
Well, actually, yes, but yeah, the tyres might be, get rid of all that gravel and all that lot, but now it's got an incline because this is the killer for engines, and this even gets even steeper. And as you can see on the time on the right, that he hasn't done too much of a long time for a car looking like vehicle, has he?
No, it hasn't.
So, obviously, it's going to win because it was racing itself, but yeah, 1.8673, yeah, not bad. So we can see on our scoreboard, and you are looking at it as, well, it's on the scoreboard, so there you are. So, we've done one thing. So, well, I'm going to be moving on and mention about the pass. I mean, that is one interesting subject, so I've got to really make it really serious and stuff, because it is quite a doubtful thing. So reminiscing about things like GTA, the game, to movies. So here it is. So yes, as you all know on the game, that I'm going like a bit of a homage and all that lot, but not really for the wrong reasons, as I could say. Because obviously, when you see these tour buses, you think, yeah, they're looking at Hollywood people where they live and all that lot. But things did change. I think mostly the best thing you can ever see is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Quentin Tarantino, as we all know, is a very famous director. What got inspiration from Sam Peckinpah, you know, because he'd have this reputation of making violent movies. Now, you may think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that it's more or less based on 1969, as we all know that the hippie people's reputation was outrageously altered and obviously affected about, because we're a car program, that one of the most iconic hippie vehicles was more or less, well, it still stands out, but it's one of them hideous crimes what always seems to stand out. Now, you go driving on this location, and the strange enough thing about it is there is some tours out there where you can experience the Charles Manson actually helter skelter thing he wanted to get going, that cult belief. I mean, it's all to do with music, you know, he's blaming the British band Beatles, and you know, it's so whatever. I'm not knowing so much bloody information about it, but we're getting to the inspiration of Quentin Tarantino, because yes, he does violent movies, but the thing is, he didn't jump on the bandwagon and thought, I want to do a movie about Charles Manson. He did a story about his involvement, but the most focus was the victim, and the most popular victim was obviously Sharon Tate. Now, driving along on here is sort of like giving that eeriness, because as I always think that, you know, big American cars, you know, they're good for driving in straight lines, speed and all that lot, but they do have higgly-piggly little whiny little roads. I mean, obviously, if you went out where, you know, most famous Hollywood stars, you know, at the time would have gone living. And I think that was a shock factor back in 1969, because it proved to show that how much famous star you are, there is a sacrifice. I mean, like Quentin Tarantino might experience it as well. When he became famous as a famous director, he has sacrificed his freedom to go out in the public without people recognising and all that lot. And another thing, he has to isolate himself into, you know, something nice and secure, but it's got to have security. And the most thing I always think about, all these famous stars have to have these great big mansions and make lots of money, because they've got to pay for a lot of security, because obviously what comes into mind in history is Sharon Tate's brutal you know, murder. And it is quite strange that there's still people, you know, weirdly enough, like this guy. But Quentin Tarantino is like, nah, we got Margot Robbie. You know, we all know with Harley Quinn and all that lot, and especially Barbie, and we all know about Barbie with Sharon Tate, that the Malibu doll, you know, the based, you know, her figure. I mean, what, she was what, 26 years old, and I think she was like 5'6". I mean, all slim and that, and they based it on that. Not the pregnant one or anything. We all know it was sadly that she was pregnant as well when she was brutally, you know, well, taken away. But driving on these eerie Hollywood roads, you'd be thinking, sometimes you think, yeah, there's a lot of celebrities live there and stuff, and I always get that inspiredness, you know, thinking how Quentin Tarantino caught your imagination about, you know, what it would be like, you know, in that period of time. And like now, a lot of people go up there and try to talk about certain stuff about where celebrities live and Hollywood and all that lot. But obviously, it did prove to show, like you can do on GTA, you can climb over walls and do that lot. And yeah, I might be rambling, but deep down, it's still to do with cars, because with that incident of the murders, that them guys or people or ladies or whatever might have not got caught or whatever. Well, they did, but obviously, if it wasn't just simple to somebody committing a crime of Grand Theft Auto, because that's what they did, they stole cars as well. So I might be rambling, and obviously, but it's reminiscing about this incident had a big impact until Susan Atkins, what was that, on a charge of Grand Theft Auto, and she was locked up with someone, like, you know, and she started bragging about, you know, the great big murder case, and she had some involvement. Obviously, that's when the police had to sort of like realise about Manson and that. You can do all the history, obviously. I'm just a car prowler and all that, though. Obviously, I am talking about, you know, the effect of these people, because they did destroy the image of a vehicle, but didn't. But obviously, everyone did associate that the VW Beetle van, or bus, or whatever you want to call it, is branded by hippies, and hippies were fine until 1969. Next thing, there was something to be feared of, because all that free loving and all that lot, yeah, right, I think it was easy because it was convenient when if you had one of these vans, because obviously, yeah, as I said, it's based on the car, it's just extended a bit, same engine and all that lot. But the thing is, you see somebody like a young man turning up to pick a girlfriend up, and parents be worried if he turns up in a van like that, because they think he's got convenience, he don't have to get a motel or anything like that. It's handy. I think that's where the reputation that people have in vans, because you can put a bed in the back of it, and obviously, what do you do in the bed? Yeah, there's more than just sleeping. There's you know, mating and all that lot, and a lot of males and females do that. And obviously, when we had the vehicle, and we had our not so time racing driver doing this bit, because obviously it came during the time while we were talking about actual places where you can go, you know, famous popular places on the game GTA 5, where there's a thing called doggying. Now, obviously, far as I know, you go to a sort of a quiet area, usually a cul-de-sac place, and there's a couple of places here, as you can see what the gimp's doing in our, you know, our convenient vehicle. Yes, it's during the day, but obviously, like night time, you'll be amazed how many online players turn up and flash their headlights at each other and stuff, and yeah, very odd behaviour. But obviously it happens in real life in quite a few countries, obviously in England as well. But yeah, you know, I don't know what the best vehicle is for that activity. I don't even know how it really originated from. Actually, I think it might have come from you know, Scooby-Doo, you know, because obviously I think you know, you had Velma, Fred, you know, Shaggy, and Daphne, didn't you? And I think they were into all that thing, and obviously they got Scooby the dog, and I think that's where the phrase comes from, you know, because you know, it's a dog. But that's why I'm coming back to about the VW Beetle van. Yes, Scooby-Doo, it wasn't a VW Beetle van, it wasn't based on that, but it does have that sort of symbol of flowers, and it's a bit like a hippie vehicle. And I always feel like, you know, they were fighting crime. It wasn't like murders or all, it's just people dressed up as ghosts and scaring people and that. But the thing is, though, I think because the confusion of them, you know, them days, that, you know, it could have been something to do, you know, with it mentioned, because the police didn't have a clue what was really what. There's no motive. Where can you go? I mean, obviously, you know, obviously, what gives it a point that, you know, somebody just bragging about something, and that's when you can link stuff up. I mean, I'm not a detective or anything, but I think that's how it really goes. And yeah, you know, the impact of this just carries on, especially when Dennis Wilson, right, you know, what was living in the Topanga Canyon, right, was driving, and he picked up these lady hitchhikers. And obviously, if you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you'll see that all these young ladies was hitching about, because it just catch your imagination how, you know, celebrities were. They, you know, they were driving around, you know, and doing, you know, stuff like, you know, going shopping and stuff. You know, they were quite a common sight to see. But obviously now, this has changed how actors and, you know, music producers and everybody what's famous, obviously now they all have to hide in discreet places and like having more than one home, because, you know, this what started it, I keep thinking, because obviously, you know, obviously, you think, yeah, these people are famous, but then you don't realise that people out there in the world want to hurt you or kill you or do some things to you. I mean, obviously, well, we're all being, you know, violated when we're at home, where you feel like you're being actually, well, your territory's been disturbed when you see something like a spider what has come in your home, and it starts creeping you out, you know, running around, scuttling about, you know, violating your home. And I think that's where my imagination works, you know, when you think, imagine a bunch of horrible human beings with knives and stuff and trying to get in your home, and they do all that lot. But, you know, I'm no expert on that, but the point is, though, I do know the experience of having spiders. But, anyhow, I got my mum to sort them out, anyhow. But, the point is, though, yeah, as I think. Now, I will explain about Dennis Wilson, right, that he was a famous drummer for the band The Beach Boys. Now, he did introduce Mr. Manson and all his little cronies or whatever to his producer, you know, Terry Melcher, right? and now that's the home they went to, did all that despicable, horrible and evil stuff they did. But the thing is, the guy was renting that house, was Terry Moucher, and obviously he moved there, right? But, whatever, history. But the point is that obviously when you got people coming into your home and then they're treating it like some, it's just like a squalor or whatever, and your neighbours are getting upset, and obviously, when people are just taking advantage of you, and you can see, that's why people get more or less isolated in home and all that lot, because people will abuse it and all that lot. But
you're just whittering on, aren't you?
Oh, you don't interrupt. This is my bit, right? I was doing this, right?
Yeah, but you ain't explaining much, are you?
Yeah, that is actually right. I mean, you haven't mentioned about the Beach Boys, have you? Really? Well, when all the Beach Boys, you think of surfboards and, especially on VW Beetle van roofs and stuff like that, and that image. Well, why didn't you say that? Because, you're trying to talk about history, and you're just whittering on about Scooby-Doo and spiders now, since that's got to do with VW Beetle vans. Well, it was a very sensitive subject, and obviously people can take it, the wrong way, because obviously what I'm trying to get round is obviously with history that we all know that violation of despicable violence and all that lot, but then because Sharon Tate ended up at that premises and they did that.
Right, but what are you trying to get at?
Well, some people think that because Manson was wanting to become a famous singer or something, and because the Beach Boys, did sort of like stole his song or something and changed his lyrics, and obviously he didn't hit the fame, and obviously he's angry, and he's got a army of people and stuff, and sent them to do his bidding.
Right, but you're getting annoying now.
What do you mean? Yeah, I was doing a great big speech, and now you're ruining it.
No, you're ruining it because you're just whittering.
Well, the point is, though, it comes back that with the Mac Helm movies, they were popular in America, and because obviously what happened with Sharon Tate, that Dean Martin didn't want to do any of the other movies. She was meant to be the new introduction of the psychic. They were going to do another one with her, and obviously with that happening, but I met one person online and they said, oh, it's a big conspiracy. I'm like, what do you mean? They said, well, think about it. Mac Helm movies were very popular with Americans, and more popular than the James Bond movies. And all of a sudden, the Mac Helm movies have stopped. And if you really pay attention, Mac Helm movies are a bit daft and silly with comedy thing. But if you really think about 1971, where they managed to spend a entire fortune on Sean Connery, getting him back, and it's the movie Diamonds Forever, that Bond movie, there was this bit of weird slapstick comedy slapped into it. I mean, like with elephants and playing, gambling and stuff, and women turning into gorillas and stuff.
What?
That is actually right. That is actually in the movie.
But where are you going with this? Everyone gets confused. Well, I do.
Yeah, you are very confusing. Well, I'm not. I mean, this is what I'm trying to get round about the VW Beetle van, wasn't I? Yeah, but now we're talking about Bond.
Yeah, because I might be doing Bond, but obviously you criticise because I don't know anything about Bond.
Well, funny enough, that movie is the one I mentioned in it to you, isn't it? You know, about driving on two wheels.
Right, yes, I remember the humble days where you were on about driving on two wheels and I didn't know what you was on about.
Well, that's where it comes from that Bond movie, Diamonds Are Forever. And the history of that is, that there was a lot of mistakes what happened in it. I mean, the director, Guy Hamilton, right, he didn't want bothered about what wheels a car drives on, right, as long as it was on two wheels, he said.
Right.
And another thing, you know, your McHelm movies, right, because they have automatically stopped, because obviously, Dean Martin didn't want to do it because of, Sharon Tate and that. But the comedy was gone. So what they thought, maybe with Bond, they wanted to get another American actor. I mean, obviously all these American actors kept on, didn't want to play Bond.
Right, because Bond's English.
Yeah, well, technically, Bond's Scottish, because Sean Connery's Scottish, right? But anyhow, before they got Sean back, right, because they did in the end, right, what they did, way back in the humble beginnings, they got Gary Grant, but he said, we want to do one. I mean, how much sex can he put up with? Because Bond's like right womanizer, isn't he? But they tried Richard Burton, actors like that. I mean, the strangest one, you think of Queen's Majesty's Service, right? That, you got George Lazenby, but he's Australian. But they considered, right, Clint Eastwood, right? The one and only Dirty Harry, right? A Dirty Harry James Bond, right? And we all know what Dirty Harry did with hippies and that, don't we? But, no, that didn't happen, did it? I mean, there's other actors that they considered, because they needed an American actor, to make it more American, because this Bond movie was more or less, all of it was in America, nearly all of it, right? But a lot of it was filmed in America, pretending to be Africa and all that lot.
Well, you just get on with it, you're just rambling again.
No, you're just getting insulting and all right lot, right? Because obviously there is some quite interesting things, right? I mean, obviously there was other actors, especially this one, right? Did you know that Batman was considered for this movie?
Batman?
Yeah, he's right. Adam West, there was something of that, wasn't there? Exactly. But he turned it down or whatever, because he prefers to wear tights, not bloody a tuxedo, there. I mean, later on, you think of Live and Let Die. Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds?
Well, yeah, because I wanted the American Bond, so, to replace McHelm and combined it like Bond or whatever, because, biggest market is, if you want to do anything, it's for the Americans, isn't it? I mean, obviously, the point is, though, right, on that movie, they did get an actor, and he was American, and he was well known for, being in the movie Psycho, with, another famous director, with, Hitchcock and that, but they got John Gavin, right, and he was signed up to play bloody Bond, right, and he was going to play Bond, but then, obviously, the nebulousy happened, right. They offered Sean Connery enough money, right, because as Sean Connery said in the interview, he wanted to have his own bank and his own golf course, and then they realised he could buy mostly all Scotland.
You what?
Well, he was the most highest paid actor at the time. Bloody hell, the much money he made on this movie only, right?
So, what happened to the other fella?
Well, Mr. Broccoli was very nice and paid him out, even his full contract for it. And but obviously, you know, he never played Bond. I mean, there were other people, candidates to play Bonds later on, you know.
Right.
And they were American.
All right. Okay. So they've been obsessed to get American actor to play Bond.
Well, yeah, or try to make it like a Macau movie. You know, there was something missing. You know, Bond didn't have any competition because of that incident, I think, because that's my opinion only. But we're not bothered about your opinions, are we? Well, you're listening to me, so, and you should do, because I'll come here with some consumer advice, right? Because that's what it's about, right?
So what actors were up for playing Bond then?
Well, there was James Brolin, Christopher Bale. I mean, that's just few actors. I mean, there's others as well. But obviously, you know, you'd be best believing it if you saw clips of it and all that lot.
But yeah, I think I'd be best doing that because listening to your information isn't really that wise, is it?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you're just babbling on too much now, aren't you?
I ain't. And don't forget, you still have to apologise. For what? No, I'm going to play some clips. This is show our new student of learning about James Bond, Mr. Captain Gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
That he's got to, you know all this information for his next James Bond special. I should be bloody doing, not him.
No, the producers want me to do it, right? And stop whinging about it.
Right. It's not fair. Are we all doing them, right? We all introduced you because we needed another bloody driver and that.
Well, you could have got the Gimp doing it.
We did, didn't we? Just shut up. I mean, bloody hell. Yeah, you two, stop bitching, right? I mean, obviously, you, Captain Pervert, you need to apologise, and you ain't coming out with much proper facts, are you? You do know that when Sean Connery was offered that part, he was offered, $200 million or something. It was that outrageously, crazy, the money. But I don't think it's enough to buy Scotland. I know he started the Scotland Trust and all that lot, and he more or less gave everything to it. And he did a 2-picture deal, but he only did one. But there's all sorts of stuff you can look up on. I mean, I think the best thing I should do is play a clip for Captain Gorgeous about who got offered what parts to play Bond, because he won't have it. Well, yeah, because there's a few actors what played, Batman, didn't they? And obviously, they wanted Batman actors to play Bond for some reason. Well, yeah, exactly. Because you've got to learn all that, Captain Gorgeous, if you're meant to be doing a Bond special.
Oh, stop whinging.
I'm playing a part clip on.
Basically, you've got to have a guy who's looks handsome, fit, right height. He's got to have humour, and he's got to be hard. The first test was Sam Neill.
So you're Tatiana Romanova?
My friends call me Tanya.
My friends call me Bond. James Bond.
All of us were impressed with Sam Neill and very much wanted to use him. He'd been very successful as Riley Ace of Spies.
The key members of the Bond creative team are sold on the New Zealand-born actor, except the one whose vote counts most.
Like a lot of things in life, it was a close race.
So there you are. You might be thinking that, that illusion of Dr. Grant or whatever he played in Jurassic Park, that, James Bond should be fighting dinosaurs and all that, look. So it gives you the false perspective on that, doesn't it? Look, we don't want you to be whittering on about bloody dinosaurs in James Bond. I just want you to get on with a bloody apology.
Yeah, I think you should.
Well, obviously, I will get round to actually apologising to them Lego people, you know, from that county and all that lot.
Just get on with it.
Well, obviously, I've been come out with some serious, you know, facts of my opinion and all that lot. Now, I'm talking about, you know, obviously I mentioned Sharon Tate, didn't I? And there's a good example I'm trying to get at right now. What example are you trying to get at right now?
Yeah, what are you getting at?
Well, obviously I'm on about actresses, right? Now, we all know that, you know, Heather Thomas, right? She's well known, famous, you know, obviously we all know that she was in The Fall Guy and she was like one of the stunt crew and all that lot. But obviously you couldn't help but noticing her in wearing a bikini, because it always seemed to, you know, when they're always fighting bad guys, you know, Howie and Colt Seavers always got beaten up. They always send in the big guns and they always said, let's send Jodie in to be the eye candy, as that you might think.
Right, so where are you going with this now?
Well, the actress had a bit of a problem with, you know, stalkers. Now, obviously, she put like a restraining order, about 45, against these men, just men only, right, stalking her. Now, obviously, she had an incident where a person actually got on their premises and gave her a script, but there was one terrifying incident where there was a guy with a knife, and we all think straight away, you know, Sharon Tate, right? And that's what I'm trying to get at. I mean, obviously, she had same circumstances, like near enough like Zippy, you know, because obviously that devil powder, but obviously she had a horrible incident of getting run over and that. But
why are you going? You're just rambling again.
now I'm coming out with a point. The thing is, there is other actresses, right? You know, what you know, could be easily getting stalked because they really hate them, right?
Right, he's getting me baffled now, Captain Know-It-All.
Yeah, he is actually. Just get on and apologise. Oh well, the apologies for them people is one of the points they were saying. Now, there was an actress called Amber Heard, right? Well, no, yeah, she was in Driving Angry or whatever, but, you know, other movies, obviously. But, obviously, you know, because we're big gearheads and petrol heads and all that, look, that, yeah, she's in one of them movies, you know, but
just get on with it!
Right, well, the thing is, though, right, obviously we all know what she did with her husband and all that lot, and obviously I feel a bit like, you know, it's Yorkshire people's fault. What do you mean by that? Well, example is, you know, I think, you know, because you think that Emmerdale is just strictly for people in Yorkshire, but obviously it is worldwide, you know. Yeah, people can go, you know, fancy high-tech equipment, you know, like Bond or whatever, you know, or McElm or whatever, you know, and they can pick up signals with their satellites, and they can watch your Yorkshire beloved documentary on how ladies really behave, you know, especially when they're locked up in a house. And we all know with that famous Roxanne Pollitt, right? And sometimes I keep saying Pollitt, but yeah, she should be angry, and you know, and she might accuse me of stuff, alright? Because obviously she was caught on camera, wasn't she? You know, exaggerating. And I think Amber Heard might have been watching Emmerdale and got ideas and all that lot. And is that what I'm meant to be apologising for? Well, no, but you were insulting to Yorkshire people, and maybe that's added up on the list. No, it's my opinion and my opinion only.
Yeah, but we're meant to be a car pro, then we're meant to be coming out with cars, aren't we, on video games, because we can't afford the real thing, and we haven't got licenses and that.
But your point is, you know what I'm getting at.
No, I don't know what you're getting at.
Yeah, you're totally confusing us now. Well, obviously, you know, Well, yes, but if you want me to apologise, you need to come out with a better excuse.
How the hell is he wiggling out with an apology?
Well, I'm trying to get the producers, sort things out if they want an apology out of me.
What? What the hell is he on about?
Yeah, I'm getting totally baffled now. Well, because Captain Gorgeous is doing James Bond specials, isn't he?
Yeah, because I'm studying.
Well, I think that's unfair, and I think I should be doing them. And obviously, if you want me to apologise, then I will apologise. Obviously, as long as I got my James Bond specials back.
No, that's just bloody blackmail. Anyhow, your fault for bloody upsetting people. Anyhow,
I wasn't the only one. You two were involved.
Because we have to put up with you. That's why.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, though, you were with me when we were doing that Yorkshire travelling, special that nobody doesn't really appreciate. Even we are coming out and consume your advice.
You what?
Yeah. Now you're really winding us up. Now you. Well, I'm not trying to, but obviously, I think we should be safe and put a clip on or something,
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and seeking missing human victims.
Okay, time for the next question in the groom quiz. We asked Jason, where was your first kiss? At the mall? Wrong. He said Burger Shot bathroom. What? I've never made out with anyone in Burger Shot. Uh-oh. Awkward.
Awesome sauce.
What's bloody wrong? Why ain't it bloody working? What are you broken for? I mean, what is actually wrong? I mean, nothing work round here now. What is actually wrong? I don't know. I'm lost to the bloody signal. Something's going wrong. Yeah, there is, because I actually unplugged it. Because you should apologise. There's no messing about you changing clips and all that lot.
Yeah, we want you to apologise.
Oh, but I don't know what I'm apologising for. You know what you said about the Yorkshire people. Well, there were a lot of things I said about stuff and all that lot. Like example, I said previously, on this episode that I think Amber Heard was watching, Emmerdale. As you all know, it's an educational Yorkshire programme, and she might got ideas and stuff and all that lot, won't she? Because that's all them Yorkshire ladies are like, aren't they? Always bloody gossiping and all that lot, and moaning about their fellas and all that lot. Well, yes, it is sort of televised, but yes, but no, that is not the reason why, but it is, but now you're confusing me now.
Well, it don't take much to confuse him, does it?
What do you mean by that?
Look, just apologise.
Alright then, I'll say the word then, but I don't know what I'm apologising for, so I'll just say it once, alright? I am sorry, everybody. Even I don't know what I'm apologising for. I'm very, very sorry. Alright, I'm very sorry that the bloody problem's coming to a bloody end. So, sorry y'all. Nah.